and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick, with the City of Hampton's Communications and Marketing Department. And today we're going to talk about a new city effort called a disparity study. And I will let my guests explain that to you. I have with me Jessica Spencer from Economic Development and Doris McRae from Procurement, which is the people who buy stuff for the city. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good Jessica, morning. What the heck is a disparity study anyway?
A disparity study is it's a process in which you look at what procurement activities are occurring and what groups that were available to participate in those opportunities in comparison to the availability of that same group to participate in that particular opportunity. You want to make sure that the processes are open and fair and equitable to all persons involved.
Okay, so when you say groups, what you're looking at specifically is maybe those business categories that have been disadvantaged in the past. So businesses owned by women, businesses owned by minorities. Do you also look at small companies, or is that part of this study?
The study will look at small businesses, minority-owned businesses, and women-owned businesses to see how they fared in the procurement activities with the city.
Now, why do we care? Really? I mean, as long as you're going out to bid and you're picking the lowest bid, why does it matter who gets the contract?
Well, it matters because you live in a diverse community. You're using public dollars. All persons should be included and should be treated equitably, as well as it benefits the city. You want to have open competition to get the best quality product and the best price for the service and the good.
But isn't that what Doris does every time she goes out to bid?
Exactly, and as Jessica has just said, when we go out, we try to make sure that we're getting as many people to do the competition. And that is why we're looking to make sure that our minority and women-owned businesses, especially locally, are getting a chance. And that was one of the main concerns, that they were not getting the opportunity. So we're trying to make sure that they get the competition letters, memos, and everything that is going out, the bids, so that they will have the opportunity just as any small or any regular vendor gets.
So part of it is then working with some of those businesses to let them know the opportunities that are available, or to let Doris know that they exist. Maybe they're not registered with the city, maybe you know, we don't know about them.
That's true. We solicit and try to engage as many minority and women businesses. We assist them with getting their state certification.
Now, what does that mean? Just
state
talk to me like I'm an idiot, because I am, and I'm not familiar with the whole business side of things.
State certification, it is a certification for businesses to be classified as either small, minority, or woman-owned in the state. That increases opportunities for those businesses. If they are once certified, we encourage them and assist them in getting registered with our procurement office as a vendor who wants to do work with the city. We then include them in the City of Hampton Small Business Directory. Both steps offer them increased opportunity for contracts, as well as it gives us the information to notify them about contracting opportunities with the city and assist them with their business growth.
Okay. So what, we did a previous disparity study.
Correct.
How long ago, you were here when that happened, Doris.
Yes,
how long ago was that?
That was done in 2005. And at that time, that is when we came up with the conclusion from that study that there is a disparity in the city. And upon that study, there came some guidelines for procurement, as far as giving percentages to major contracts that are over $100,000. Those contracts, we will have to have percentages of requesting from vendors of usage of minority and women-owned businesses, and they send that in with the bid document.
So that's not a set-aside, but it means you have to get a quote, or at least pursue a quote. You have to make sure that minority and women contractors are included in the pool of people who bid.
Correct.
Okay.
And even in our bid openings, Jessica or one of her staff are there at the bid openings and even at the pre-bid conference to address to vendors the need of pursuing minority and women-owned businesses.
And the city also made some changes for smaller bids as well, right?
From that, we have, with our code normally goes with the state code, the Virginia Public Procurement Act, but city ordinance came and we made some changes as far as small purchases. We can purchase from 0 to 5,000, departmental, and from 4,99 up to 10,000. That can be departmental as well. The difference is from 0 to 5,000. If there's a minority or woman-owned business available and it's feasible, the department can use that vendor. Once it reached the 5,000 increment, there have to be competitive bidding for as one minority and maybe two other, in as many others as possible. But there have to be one minority person asks for a quote.
And that really, I mean, actually those small contracts, I don't know if they add up enough to really make a difference in the disparity study, but it is also a wonderful streamlining thing for a department to be able to call a vendor or, you know, just to be able to do something and not have to go through a whole lot of bid processes. But if you know that you have a vendor who's certified, you can just do it. And
a lot of minorities are in that small range, so it gives them a chance. And Jessica is documenting that as well. She keeps a record of departmental purchases for the small purchases.
So the disparity study this time then, Jessica, what will we be looking at and how will that go? How will that happen? What's the process?
This disparity study, we anticipate taking no more than a year. And with the second study, we're looking for further recommendations to move the city further down the road, to give us other recommendations for other strategies that we can put in place to increase our utilization and to assist the minority businesses with growth.
So you're going to look at how we are versus the last study, whether the changes that were made have helped, and if there are recommendations, you know, if there's still a disparity, and if
what can we do
what
next?
we can do to address it.
Correct.
Now, one of the things I think we need to say is we can't do a straight set aside. You can't. Your goal is to make the best use of the taxpayer dollar.
And as I was saying, and some people didn't realize that the reason we can't do that is because we're following the state regulation, which is the Virginia Public Procurement Act, and it does not allow us to do set-asides.
And that is because we want to make the best use of taxpayer dollars. But you want to do that utilizing, you know, local businesses and small businesses and women and minority-owned businesses who may not have experienced a level playing field. So Jessica, part of what you do is outreach to those companies. How do you do that?
We notify our small businesses when we offer contracting opportunities that coincide with what they do. We publish a biannual newsletter. We also notify firms about any workshops that the City of Hampton are providing, as well as anyone in the region that is providing. We've participated in various conferences all over the state to let people know about our minority and women-owned business program, encourage firms to engage with the city and become registered and partner with us so that we can build a long, harmonious relationship and increase the utilization with those firms.
And would it be fair to say that we have made gains since the last disparity study? I mean, I remember writing a press release for you last year in which we had made gains. I think the question is, are those enough?
We have made gains, and you have to remember we were actually starting from ground zero here with the City of Hampton, and we made much gains as far as utilization, also in the area of business development, outreach to the firms in the area, but still we can do even more. And hopefully with this second study we can look at what are the next steps that we can take to increase the utilization and help the firms grow.
Now, one of the things that has been added to the Office of Economics, we have the SWAM state certification person.
Okay, now tell us
there.
what SWAM is, because a lot of people out there don't know, but it's an acronym that I know in the city you guys use a lot.
Yes, SWAM is Small Women and Minority-Owned Businesses, and that process is handled by the Department of Minority Business Enterprise. Part of the Minority Business Program outreach activities, we have a memorandum of understanding with the Department of Minority Business Enterprise, and they have a staff on site Tuesday through Thursdays in economic development offices to assist any small business with certification, bid packaging, and whatever. And that is provided to firms to assist them.
And that's sort of the difference in the two of you partnering up in this effort, is that you're working with the bids and making sure they go out and making sure they're the best deal for the taxpayers. But in economic development, you're helping to grow
the business.
Local business and to help them get jobs, get contracts, you know, work with the city to get to grow their business and employment.
Correct. Exactly.
And in the long run, that increases the utilization for the city. We partner with the small businesses. So it makes for a better economy in the area, as well as it helps with getting the best quality and dollar value for the services and goods.
Right, and what we see, I mean, what we keep hearing on this national level is that small businesses are going to provide a lot of the jobs growth over the next decade or 25 years, that more people are entrepreneurs, that those small jobs, you know, may become, or not small jobs, small businesses providing jobs may become one of the anchors of a lot of our local communities.
That's true. Most of your businesses are small businesses, and they are the ones with the entrepreneur ideas that are moving the economy forward. So you want to support and engage those businesses.
Okay,
And,
so
I was going to say, and the other part to that is, by Jessica putting those out there, one of the lacks that we had was subcontractors, which are those small businesses. So by her putting that information out there, letting them know, even if they're not able to be prime contractors, they're able to consult the primes and become subs, which is increasing their workloads.
And that's important when we do big projects. And I know spending is a little bit halted, but when we build the schools or a new fire station, you need a lot of subcontractors on that. So even if we don't have a minority business that maybe wins the contract or is even able to handle the whole contract, there are subcontractors who can get a portion of that work and those city dollars and keep those jobs.
Correct, and it helps them to grow. So eventually they will be a prime contractor.
Right,
yes.
right. And some of them can. I mean, we've got some development firms that are definitely minority or women owned. So Jessica, if people have questions about this study, or if there are minority businesses out there, maybe small home-based businesses that want to grow or contact you, what's the best way to do that?
You can call into economic development. My direct number is 728-5179. I'm in the Rupert Sargent building, 6th floor, suite 600. You also can go to our website, get to economic development. There are several web pages for Minority Business Program giving you additional information. It also gives you information on the city's business incentives for small businesses. And that's www.hamptonva.biz.
Okay. And Doris, if people want to know about how they can be aware of when bids are happening, they should get with your office?
Right, get with my office. You can call 727-2200, and every Tuesday, any bid that we're putting out is pretty much put on our website. So you can look on our website, which you can go to hampton.gov and find that information. We have our solicitations there, we have our awards there, and there are all the buyers in the office, because each bid is done by a separate buyer, so you can contact that buyer as well.
Okay. Well, thank you both for stopping by and explaining this today. I really appreciate it.
Okay,
Thank you for having us.
And thank you for watching this episode of Round Robin.